Greetings, everyone. My name is Jasmine, and this is my journal. Today is March the 11th, 2023. Well, honestly, it's actually March the 12th, but we journal entering for March 11th. It's like a little after midnight. Um, Hope all is well with everyone. Everything has been well with me. Um, Today was great. I had a doctor's appointment. Last episode, I spoke about a friend of mine's with 5-year-old that was diagnosed with cancer. So I went to visit them today, spent the day with them, and prayed. Me and her have been on the phone every night since we found out the diagnosis, just saying prayers. The prayer that spirit gave me that I put together lasts about maybe 7 minutes. It's funny because I was told to say I read something out of the book of Psalms, then I do a prayer 7 times, and it takes exactly 7 minutes to say it. So to me, there's something divine about that. We have been doing it over the phone the past few nights, but tonight I got to do it in person. Um, Interestingly, the little girl, oh, that poor child don't sit still. When I say she be on 1,000 all day, she be on 1,000 all day. But once I got in my zone and got to chanting and praying, it was just amazing at how her energy just calmed down. She just instantly relaxed. She sounded very calm. Beautiful little girl. She's got autism, but I feel like she's on a higher end of the spectrum. Like she can talk and communicate and make her needs known, but she just has like a few hiccups with her speech. Um, and like she's real like she's she's real tactile. Like prime example, like she don't like being wet, so like something spilled on her clothes, we had to hurry up and change her clothes. She don't like nothing cold on her, nothing like that. And she likes hugs. She's real touchy. She likes to cuddle. She likes to be up under you. So I think that's a tactile thing with the autism. She has to have skin to skin, and I noticed that about her. That kind of soothes her and it keeps her calm. But she had been bouncing off the walls all day, and one thing I noticed tonight was that when we said that prayer, she just instantly calmed down. And like I don't want to get emotional. She like the sweetest girl. She looked at me and her mom was like, "You gonna tell Jazz thank you?" And she was like, "Thank you, Jazz. Thank you. My foot all better because the cancer's in her foot." She's like, "Thank you, Jazz. Thank you. My foot all better. Thank you." And she was rubbing her foot and she looked at me and she said, "It's all better." And before I left, she said, "I love you, Jazz. I love you." It's just so sweet. She's like the sweetest little thing. She gets along with my 7-year-old very well. I remember speaking to the mom before they met, and she was concerned that she's real protective of her children, especially that little one. She was concerned that she wouldn't really get along with my daughter or other kids because she was different. They get along so well. They hang out all day, play with their toys. We ordered them some pizza and some food, and she bought them a whole bunch of snacks, and they just had fun. And then I took my 13-year-old, and she has an older daughter that's about 15, and her and my 13-year-old, they hang out for a bit. So me and her just chatted. We went to Walmart, walked around Walmart. We grabbed a few things so I could bless her house. I got to go bless her house tomorrow. I'm going to pray over the baby tomorrow, too, and bless her house. But we couldn't find out the items, so I'm going to grab the items from down here, take them up there so we can bless her house. Um, that was my day. A really, really good day. Yesterday, I went and bought myself a comforter set. So, yeah, I have this weird, everybody got their things that they like buying. I like comforter sets because my bed is my favorite place. So, I change sheet sets and comforter sets at least 3, 4 times a year. I buy a new set. So, I got this gray set and it's real pretty. It's comfortable because, the base color in my room is gray. My curtains are gray, but like I always change up the color. Like before it was like gray and pale pink, and it's like a darker gray. And now it's like gray, at the base, and I got like golden curtains. And when I got the blanket set, the comforter set, all my pillows and stuff were gray. So I found me this pretty golden pillow to put across my bed. So I'm just excited about this one golden pillow that is in my bed. I know that's weird, but yeah, that's me. Anyhow, besides that, so the weirdest thing happened at work. Rewind. So a few weeks ago, my dreams have been so prophetic. Like they have been on point. Um, I had a dream that I had went to work, and instead of walking to my usual office, which is in our skilled nursing building, I walked to the assisted living building. Where I work at, it's a whole community, and we have like on our campus, we have like a skilled facility for the nursing home patients that need 24-hour care. In that building, we have a skilled rehab unit for people who just need a short stay when they get out of the hospital. That is the unit that I run. There is also an assisted living building. There's an independent living building. Then we have these beautiful high rise independent apartments that are like luxury. And we have cottages that are for the independent patients. It's like a whole, we used to have a nice fancy restaurant on campus, but that's no longer there. But we have a nice bistro inside of one of the buildings. And we also have a building that accepts HUD, which is like subsidized housing on our campus too. It's a very nice campus. Anyhow, I had a dream that I went to work, and instead of going into my regular office, I went over to assisted living um and went into my office, but it wasn't my office. And in a dream, I was like, this is not my office. Like, why is this my office? But I just sat down and started working while saying, like, I can't believe this is my office. What's going on? 2 weeks ago. So Wednesday night when I got off of work, no, Thursday night when I got off of work, something happened. The lab, this is real life now. The lab called in like a very high lab, and they were saying that somebody had a critical potassium. Their potassium was greater than 10. Okay, this like a walking cardiac arrest. A potassium that high can be very dangerous. Okay, so I'm like, oh shoot, I could not locate this lady. I'm like, where is this lady at? She's not in my building. Security couldn't locate her on campus. The reason why security couldn't locate her on campus is because the name that the lab gave us is not the name that she goes by. Like people get married and they hyphenate their names. It kind of complicates the system. So security couldn't locate her. So something said call AL. So I dialed the village care nurse and called AL. Got one of the male nurses that I used to work with over in my building. He moved to AL. And I was like, hey, do you have a patient by this name? He's like, yeah, the other nurse has her. I said, well, I just paged the doctor. She has a potassium of greater than 10. She needs to be sent to the emergency room right away. But the on call doctor hasn't called me back yet. So we kind of made a nursing judgment to send her out to the hospital. I was on the phone. Um, I was on the phone with them for like an hour. So after that, I got up and got dressed. Me and I had the second. Oh yeah, I had the second date. But I'll go back to the second date, guy. I went out on my second date, came back home, went to sleep, and I had a dream that I worked in assisted living again. I was like, well, maybe I had this dream because it carried over from me helping assisted living the night before. Guys, Friday I go to work, sitting in my office chilling, and the administrator calls me and says, hey, come to my office. Last time somebody called me like that and said, hey, come downstairs, they told me they were terminating my position and they were letting me go. And they slid a severance package across the table and gave me the deuces. So I'm sitting upstairs in my office. He says, come downstairs. So I instantly just throw all my shit in my bag. Let me just pack my office now because I already know what this is going to be. Quick backstory: we merged with another company. In my opinion, I think it was a buyout or a takeover, but they said it was a quote merge, end quote merge. But ever since we merged with this company, they've been making all the decisions, calling all the shots, and cutting a lot of shit. I mean, we're looking at massive cuts. I got a feeling, and this is probably just the beginning, but we knew it was coming. They started off by cutting beds, so it's a lot of stuff being cut. They took agency out the building. It's just a lot of cuts. And I talked about agency last episode. You can go back and listen. Problems agency causes. Anyhow, back to the story. So I go downstairs. I'm nervous as hell. I sit down in front of my administrator and he was like, Jazz, you're not in trouble. But when I looked over at my boss, who's the director of nursing, she don't look happy. So I take a deep breath and basically he was like, yeah, we're terminating your position. Now, last time they told me this, I was scared. I'm like, oh my God, what's next? I've been here so many years. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? But since I've already conquered that fear, I just wasn't afraid. And he was like, we're terminating your position. And he said, but I have news for you. And he was like, a position's coming in assisted living. How do you feel about assisted living? And I was like, I never worked assisted living before. He said, well, the current director of nursing is stepping down there, and we would like you to go over there and take over. We think that you have enough experience. You've run the hardest unit in this building twice. You did it once for 7 years, left, came back and just did it again. We need somebody like you in assisted living. So I was like, okay. So basically my choices were go back down to work on the floor, take a massive pay cut, leave, or go to assisted living. There was no package offered this time. It was basically give me the deuces. So he told me that I had time to make a decision. So later on that day, I looked at him and I was like, I dreamed this. I dreamed I was working in assisted living. So that's when I was like, damn, my dreams be on point because I dreamed this. But I'm not sure about the position, number one, because it's out of my comfort zone. I've never worked as a director of nursing. I've always worked in management, but I've always had somebody above me I can go to. Putting me over there as director of nursing puts nobody above me except for the CEO of the company who's suddenly over there. So basically, my boss will no longer be, you know, the DON because I'll be the DON. So that's a fear for me. It was like, oh my God, like who can I lean back on? Nobody. So it kind of scared me. And then also, I had mentioned last episode that that was the first time I ever had a great team that I work with. We work with a good team. We all work together. We help each other out. You know what I mean? If I need to miss for something or be out for something, one of them covered me. And if they needed to be out for anything, I covered them. We just all covered each other. We worked a great on call schedule. If we were low in aides, all three of us were up there giving showers, feeding meals, helping residents with meals, covering the nurses. We just take care of each other. So I like the environment that we created. And now just to hear that it's going to be busted up, it's just kind of it just sucks. Anyhow, my boss, who's also we've kind of grown somewhat as friends, pulled me in her office and she was like, "Look, Jazz." She says, I know you're uncomfortable about this. She said, I didn't want you to leave. I tried to fight for you. But she said, I cannot give them a valid excuse to have three managers in a building with 96 patients. They're just not going to allow that. She was like, you know, I know you're nervous and I know this is uncomfortable for you, but you have the skill set to be a director of nursing. She said, you already kind of do it. She was like, as your friend, I strongly advise you to take that position. I strongly advise you. She said, I don't advise you to leave the company. She said, I advise you to add that extra level of experience up under your belt because you're a great nurse. So I have like tomorrow I gotta let them know I mean Monday I gotta let them know because it's going into Sunday. Monday I gotta let them know what I gotta do by for sure. Then next Thursday I'll sit down with the CEO and talk money. So upon going through this, I had to meditate on it. And what I had to understand was that I am constantly being forced out of my comfort zone. And I'm getting to a point in my life to where I just I can't live in fear anymore. I spent so many years, y'all, working my ass off because I was afraid of being homeless, afraid of not having anything, afraid that my kids won't have anything, afraid of this, afraid of that. But a way is always provided, even when we had nothing. Even when I didn't know where our next, there was a time, even after I was a nurse, food prices got so high, my bills were astronomical. I was being garnished at the time, and I didn't even know how we were going to eat, but we ate. You know, I'm always getting hit with extra bills and extra expenses, but I always find a way through. So I'm being pushed outside of my comfort zone for whatever reason. When I look back on my life and I reflect on my life, I realize that a lot of the things that I've gotten in my life, I've had people to look up to. I've had people to guide me. But now that I think of it, as far as all the things that I've achieved and all my attributes, nothing has ever been simply just handed to me. You know how you meet those people? I'm sorry, my throat's scratchy. You know how you meet those people and like their entire life, everything's just always given to them. They always got somebody. Like if they can't pay their bills and they don't want to work, they got somebody they can live with. They got somebody who will take care of them. They got somebody who will carry them. They always get the best opportunities. Or I knew this lady, she was a nurse. All of her husbands, I mean, she was married several times the years I worked with her, and all of them had all this flipping money. She didn't have to work. She just worked because she was bored. And when she finally divorced her last husband and decided to be single, her uncle ups and dies, and she inherits over $1 million. And she didn't even know this uncle, never met him a day in her life. She didn't know this man existed. And she just inherited $1 million. So you get people like that. And then you get people like me who have had to work their butts off for everything. Everything. Nothing is handed to me like that. And I've had to conquer a lot of things, whether it be parenting, coming from being a teenage parent, college, nursing school, you know. But one thing I can say is that the Most High Creator, God, whoever you believe and subscribe to, I call it the Creator, always provided me with, and that is support. I had my mother for so many years until she died. After she died, her best friend, just kind of took her place, helping me with my children. Shout out to Angie. My kid's dad, who is a great dad, a great support system. Like they help me with the children, help me keep things balanced. And then my children are great support systems. My 13-year-old, she's like I was when I was 13. Like when I was her age, I had to take care of my three younger brothers. I always took care of my three younger brothers from the time they were born. I remember my mom brought them home. But my mom worked night shift, so she would sleep in the morning. I would get them up from school, get them dressed, fix them breakfast, send them to school, and then go to school myself. Come home, they'll come home. If my mom was up and she was there, she would help them with their homework. If she wasn't, I would. And that's just basically been our lives. My 13-year-old is very much the same way. Because I wake up so early, at least she'll wake up, she'll get the 7-year-old ready. get her dressed, help her get dressed, take her clothes out or whatever. My 7-year-old knows how to fix her own breakfast, which is usually cereal. My 7-year-old's responsibility in the morning is to feed the cats. My 13-year-old makes sure the litter boxes are cleaned out. And then she the Angela comes and pick them up and she take them to school. And then after school, if Angela can't keep them until I get off, the 13-year-old and the 18-year-old watch the 7-year-old until I can make it home. The 13-year-old, she can cook. Sometimes she'll fix dinner before I get home. Most of the times I prefer her cook when I'm home, but she does good. She's a great cook. Or she makes sure something's taken out that I can cook. She'll sometimes, if I'm too tired and I've been working all week, she'll even wash my clothes without me asking. And she'll just be like, Mama, make sure you have some clean uniforms. So I'll be crazy to tell y'all that I didn't have any support because I have great support. My best friend, shout out to Tish, my friend Angel, new friends that I'm gaining, they're all a support system. Then I got my spiritual supporters, my teacher, the young lady's house that I was over earlier. Shout out to Erica. We support each other emotionally, just helping each other through that. And with parenting, we just talk about our children and better ways that we could parent our children or better ways we can improve our quality of life or your spiritual selves. Like I got a whole spiritual fam that support me, people I can call when I need help. Shout out to the accelerator community. I have a whole community around me for support. So I don't want people to think that when I talk about the stuff that I've had to do to survive, that I didn't have support, because I did. I just feel like nothing's ever been handed to me. Everything I got, I've earned. I started off as an aide, became an LPN, worked as an LPN a few years, became an RN, worked on the floor as an RN for a few years, became a unit manager, worked my ass off doing that for 7 years, got let go, went to work in dialysis, busted my ass at dialysis, and dialysis ain't no hoe. Them 10-hour shifts, 4 days a week ain't no hoe. Left dialysis, went back, went into management again, been doing that a little over a year, and now it looks like I may be promoted to director of nursing. And it's funny that the universe knew that if I was offered the choice between working as a director of nursing and staying in a management position, I would have stayed in the management position. So I was placed with my back against the wall to where I didn't have to make a choice. I mean, I could leave, but with today's healthcare, the way staffing is, in a way, places are just slowly running down. It's probably safer to say, just try it over here first. I know their system. I know how they operate. I know half the AL patients and family members because they've been in a hospital, had skilled rehab, and came through me. It's just another position that brings the discomfort. But I think I can handle it. Well, my last few minutes, I got to tell you about date number 2. So, lastly, Wednesday night, I went on date number 2. Or was this Thursday? This was Thursday night. We went on date number 2. So, remember I told y'all he broke his foot. So he came and got me, and we were supposed to get ice cream, but we ended up at this spot in Cincinnati called Insomnia Cookie. They stay up until about 4, 5 in the morning, but they even deliver. They got some of the best cookies in the city. I tried crumble cookies, and I'm sorry, crumble cookies is not better than Insomnia cookies. Wait, except for that pink donut looking cookie at Crumble Cookie. That's the best cookie. Okay, so if y'all got a crumble cookie near you, get the pink donut cookie. That's the bomb. They've also got like a mint chocolate chip cookie. That one too. But anyhow, we went to Insomnia Cookie. I got me a brookie, a brownie and cookie together, and 2 scoops of ice cream on top of it. Then he went across the street to Smoothie King and got himself a strawberry limeade smoothie. And we just sat down to talk. His foot was hurting him pretty bad. And poor guy, he was limping back and forth across the street for me. I was just like, we didn't have to go out. This could have waited. So, date number two, it was a success. It was good. And we sat down and we talked for a while eating our ice cream. And then he was like, I'm hungry. So I wasn't really hungry, but I'm kind of chubby, so I can always eat. So he went to Arby's and got himself a gyro, and I got myself some curly fries, which I shouldn't have been eating because I've been healthy, but fuck it, I did. I didn't even really eat on my curly fries, but I ate that after the ice cream. He had that, so we just ate a whole bunch of junk. We sat in the car and talked, and chatted about some things, and then we parted ways, and I went home. So date number two was cool. Um, I think tomorrow he's going to buy a new motorcycle. This man is obsessed with cars and motorcycles. We sat in the car while he counted how many cars he got. And he already got a motorcycle, but he's going to buy another one. So he assured me that, if things go well, I will have a leather vest with my name on it so I can ride on the back of the motorcycle. I don't know if that's something I want to do, but I'm thinking about it. So date number three may be happening because date number two was good. So date number three may be happening. Um, I do have some reservations, and he's well aware of my reservations. I don't think I need to get into them here, but I do have some reservations. Remember I told y'all about my gut? Something in my gut is just like, uh, wait, hold on, slow your roll, shorty. And I assured y'all that from now on, I'm listening to my gut because every time I don't listen to my gut, what happens? I get in trouble. And I am the queen of fuck that gut. Let's have fun. Let's just go all the way. And the last time I did that with somebody, I got fucking hurt and ghosted. So from now on, my gut has the final say. And my gut says, uh-uh, take your time. Not yet. It's not a definite no, but it ain't a yes either. It's like a, how can I say it intuitively? Cause my intuition be jumping. It's like a, there's something you're not seeing, Jazz. Take your time. So since there's something I'm not seeing, I'm gonna take my time. And most of the time, like lately when I go out on dates and people don't like the fact that I take my time, they kind of cancel themselves out. And I'm completely okay with it. Cause right now I'm kind of focused on getting these projects done, this podcast, getting my money right, my kids, spending time with my family. Like, a relationship is not my focus, but I'm not closed off to it because I do want to be with somebody eventually. It's just not my main focus right now. My focus is like getting myself together spiritually, getting my home in order. There's too many things going on in my personal life that I need to get in order than to be hell bent and focused on a man, a man, a man, finding a man, a man, a man, a man, a man, a man. Nah, fuck that. But my gut ain't telling me like not to hang with them or to run away or run the opposite way. There is somebody though that got in my inbox and was talking a good game, and my gut was just like, hell no. So I just blocked him. And I know he thinking like, this bitch crazy. She just blocked me out of nowhere. Well, my gut told me to block you, so I blocked him. And I probably never know why my gut told me to block him, but since my gut ain't never told me wrong, fuck it. He got blocked. He was good looking too. He was all chocolate and shit. He was kind of chubby too. He was a basketball coach. He just had all these qualities that I liked. And he was talking a great game. He was talking that spiritual stuff, and my gut was like, "Boo, no, no." So I blocked him. I ain't about to play no more games, y'all. I don't have the time. And plus, my gut don't be lying. I just hope, and I'm talking to my gut, bitch. I hope you ain't about to have me out here and none. I already got 4 cats fucking with you. I'm already lightweight a cat lady. Gonna have me like shit, 87 years old with 100 cats talking about listening to my gut. That just might be me. But I got a feeling um in the near future here, I would say within the next 6 months, my intuition is feeling like maybe 6 months to a year, I'm gonna meet somebody. I could feel it. I got a feeling that, y'all. I got a feeling that I'm gonna be somewhere, and that's when I'll meet this person. I'm like gonna be somewhere out and about somewhere, or like just doing something. I feel like I'm gonna be like at something, whether it be somewhere like a meeting or like an event or something. And I got a feeling that I'm just gonna meet this person, and that person is going to be the person that I'll be with for a while, for a long time. And I feel like he just gonna check off every check on my list that I wrote to God and was like, God, but there are two very secret passwords that he has to pass. So I told y'all a few weeks back, maybe a few months ago, that I created a sign. And it's kind of like, that story in the Bible where that man needed a sign for God, so he laid the fleece outside, and then the morning dew got on everything around but the fleece, and that was his sign from God. Well, you can like assign signs like, hey, this is my sign right here. If this and this and this happens, then I know that this is this. So I tend to write letters to the creator in my journal. Number one, I described what I would thought would be a perfect mate for me, exactly what I wanted, exactly what I desired, um, personality traits, and also somebody with enough patience to deal with me because I'm all over the damn place and I'm goofy. You gotta have a lot of patience with me. I'm sorry. And I'm all over the damn place and I can't focus. And I think I got ADD. Y'all know, y'all been listening to this podcast. I got ADD. I be all over the damn place. But anyhow, but I assigned two very private things that I haven't shared with anybody. And one of them is nearly impossible. So if that happens, that will be my indicator that yes, this person is my person. It's two things. One can possibly happen, but the second one is damn near impossible. So if that, just like if you lay a fleece outside and it's that morning frost and it's everywhere, but the fleece is completely dry, there's no way. It's one of those type of things. So when that happens, then I will know without the shadow of a doubt, like, okay, Jazz, this is him, and he got to pass that gut check. I'm like, okay, this is him. But until then, I'm just going to continue enjoying, like I said, that I told y'all before, the moment right now, right here, what's in front of me, and just loving every bit of the moment right now. That would be the end of our segment. Don't forget, um, I love you 11 times in the morning in the mirror, guys. I love you 11 times at night in the mirror. Look at yourself real good. Love on yourself every day. Make sure you tell everybody that you're close to that you love them every day, because you just never know when your last day is here and when their last day is here before you transition on to the next experience. So make sure you're telling people that you love them. And make sure you're telling yourself that you love them, that you love yourself. I said them like you're many. You're appreciating yourself. Peace.